everybody? Welcome to the AZ Sports Zone on the IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'm your host, Alden K. For episode 17, guys, once again, another week of goodness in Arizona sports, with the Arizona Cardinals beating the Chicago Bears with the score of 29-9, advancing to 5-4, and still first place in the NFC West. We're definitely going to talk about that. We're also going to be covering Marvin Harrison Jr. and some concerns that fans, including myself, have with him currently. And then, of course, the Jets travel to Arizona to take on the Cardinals for Week 10. We're going to be giving a quick preview of that game as well. And, of course, we got the Phoenix Suns, man, with an amazing start to the season. They are 7-1 and tied for first place in the Western Conference. And also we're going to be discussing Bradley Beal and Ryan Dunn being injured, and both of them potentially being out tonight against the Suns and the Mavericks. We're also going to be talking about that game briefly as well. And, of course, we got some Diamondbacks to talk about, with the Diamondbacks attempting to trade one of their starting pitchers and trying to re-sign Christian Walker, and they're also active in trying to sign another relief pitcher, as we talk about our pitching being a very, very, very big issue last season as we head towards the 2025 season with a quest for our second title. Once again, guys, you're watching AZ Sports Zone on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Alrighty, guys, if you're just now tuning in, welcome, as I said earlier, to the AZ Sports Zone on the IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'm your host, Alden K. So we have a lot of good news once again. I feel like I'm like dreaming right now, all the good stuff happening in Arizona sports right now. But before we get to that, of course, IE Sports Radio has been around for 10 years, guys. Make sure to follow us on X, IG, Facebook, TikTok, and of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel on the IE Sports Radio. We're growing very fast on YouTube, actually, so make sure to help us out and keep us going strong. If you guys miss any of our shows, make sure to check them all out right here on pretty much any network you can really get to. And of course, our website, iesportsradio.com. Do not forget to check that out. And also along with that is our custom pages. As y'all can see, mine is right here, AZ Sports Zone. And of course, if you're interested in buying any merch, we also have a shop there. If you're interested, go check that out. Get yourself some good merch representing the IE Sports Radio. And of course, make sure to follow both of the Twitter accounts that I run. My first one starting off with the IE Sports Radio Twitter account at AZ Sports Zone IE, where I retweet a bunch of Arizona news with the team. Currently, I've been retweeting a lot of Phoenix Suns as the games go on, and of course the Cardinals. And if the Diamondbacks make a big move, I'll be the first to talk about it on Twitter. So make sure to follow that account, and of course my personal Twitter account, where I'm not as active, but when I am active, I post about anything really. I talk trash about rivals, this and that. I am brutally honest, and I'm unfiltered as hell on that Twitter account. So make sure to follow that one if you guys want to get a good laugh in. And of course, guys, before we get into the our first Arizona sports segment, we're going to hear a quick word from our sponsors, Planet Jerky and Seal the Deal Wax Seals. So hear a quick word from our sponsors. Once again, you're listening to the AZ Sports Zone on the IE Sports Radio. What is that? Your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hi, eSports Radio fans. This show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, single-A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all-brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the IE Sports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
Welcome back to the AZ Sports Zone on the IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that sports. I'm your host, Alden K. Another big shout out to our sponsors, Planet Jerky, Seal Deal Wax Seals, and of course, lastly, but certainly not least, shout out to the IE Sports Radio and everybody who's a part of it and everybody who supports it. We continue to bring you guys amazing content, amazing shows each week. And we continue to do our damn best. So let's get to the comments real quick before we jump into the segment. What's up, Ralph? How you doing, man? And what's up, Taryn? Yeah, you already know the drill. Always having amazing shows no matter what. Alrighty. So like I said, a lot of good was happening in Arizona sports, and I meant it. So man, this Cardinals team, the first like 5 or 6 weeks, I was ready to give up on this team already, but these last few weeks, man, they have not given up. They've been turning things around. They're doing their job. They're doing what they need to do. They're doing what a lot of people thought that they wouldn't do, including their own fan base, including myself. See, I said at the beginning of the season, I would be happy with at least 5 wins. As long as we had more wins than what we had last year, I would be okay with that because that means we're clearly doing something right in the right direction. And we're only 9 weeks in. Well, I guess 10 weeks. It's week 10 now. So 10 weeks in, we already have more wins than what we had last season. So we are improving. And when fans were ready to give up on Kyler Murray, when fans were ready to give up on Jonathan Gannon already and Nick Rallis and Drew Petzing, which Drew Petzing I am still skeptical about, but if he continues to keep it going well, then there is that. But this Arizona Cardinals team, they definitely proved me wrong last week because I did not think that we were going to beat Chicago. I did not think our defense was definitely going to hold them to 0 touchdowns. I did not think that literally our offense would do pretty much the majority right. I mean, I'll get to Marvin Harrison here in a second or in a minute, but this Arizona Cardinals team at home, mind you, the Chicago Bears fans did take over our stadium. I'm not going to lie about that. They did take over our stadium. But that honestly, what team doesn't take over our stadium? Let me be honest. But despite all of that, the Arizona Cardinals beat the Chicago Bears 29-9, and they advanced to 5-4, and they remain first place in the mid division of the NFC West. Now, this game, I don't even know where to begin. Shit, everything went right here. um, Big credit to the defense. Nick Rallis, who recently had a kid as well, had two amazing back-to-back performances, or back-to-back, I should say. We won 3 games in a row, and our defense has come up clutch in those games as well. Still no Darius Robinson coming into this game, which sucks, and we might not have him this week either against the Jets, which really sucks. It just wonders when the hell are we going to see our other first-round pick on the field. It really sucks. But the Cardinals at home, the roof was open. And I want to start off by saying this. It was so funny that the roof was open, but the second it started raining, the Cardinals closed the roof because it was pouring in Arizona. Like it was pouring last Sunday. It was raining. I'm sure the Chicago Bears had no issue playing under the rain whatsoever. I'm sure they're used to something like that, but the Cardinals are definitely not. And especially with the field that we have, um, it was the good decision to close that roof and protect the players from getting hurt because our field is already bad enough for players getting injured, and it's worse when you have a wet field on artificial grass. It really sucks. So, good decision by that. So, but the Cardinals, they start off this game. I want to say not bad, but I mean, it was kind of slow in a way. I mean, we scored the touchdown first. We took a 7-0 lead. Trey McBride had his first touchdown of the season, but it wasn't receiving, it was rushing. So that drive when they were milking the clock, which is a lot of what this Cardinals offense is capable of doing. They were draining the clock a lot in this game too. So they basically been managing the ball very well. They haven't been turning the ball over either. We had 1 turnover or maybe 2. I think it was 2 fumbles. But Kyler Murray continues, and Kyler Murray didn't have the best game. He barely had 150 passing yards. But what he was able to do was maintain the time of possession. He didn't turn the ball over. He didn't throw a pick. He also didn't throw a touchdown either. So it is what it is. But this Arizona Cardinals offense, they continue to stick with the run game. We have so many guys that are capable of running the ball on this team. I mean, we had Amari DiMercado run a 50-yard touchdown with 12 seconds left in the first half. And I still think we were lucky to get that. I mean, the Bears defense just collapsed on that drive, and we were able to punch it in and go up 21-6 in the at the break. And the one thing that I did not see coming was the fact that we had 6 sacks on Caleb Williams. 6 sacks. No BJ Ojolari, no Dennis Gardeck, no Darius Robinson. Dante Stills, Zaven Collins. Those were the guys that led it this season. And we haven't really been hearing much of Zaven Collins this season, but he made some really good plays. Now, maybe it is because the Bears' offensive line is a joke. I mean, I don't know much about the Bears team, but maybe it is because their O-line is a joke. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just because our D-line finally woke up and decided, hey, I want to play some football today. So to bring down Caleb Williams 6 times, make him run out of the pocket the amount of times that the Cardinals' defensive line did, and for them to literally rely on Caleb Williams throwing the ball under pressure the entire game is the biggest reason on why this Arizona Cardinals defense held the Bears to 0 touchdowns in this game. And a big credit to Nick Rallis. I know our defense has not been the best this season. They've been so far lately a bend but not break defense. Excuse me. They've managed to hold Justin Herbert and Caleb Williams to 0 touchdowns in their last 3 games. And hopefully they continue to do that as we're facing the Jets this week, an offense that has been struggling, or at least by the numbers, they've been struggling a lot this season, and they always rely on their defense to win games. So, but I'll get to that preview here in a little bit. What I want to talk about right now is if you guys read the tickers, I have them on. I have the topics on a ticker now, so I kind of updated that a little bit. But let's see. Ralph says, amazing to see the Cardinals in first place. Live them versus the Jets this weekend, and it should be a good game. I'm not one to really say that this is going to be an easy win. I know the Cardinals are red hot right now, but then again, they are still the Arizona Cardinals, and what can go wrong will go wrong for not just them, but every Arizona team. So they really got to keep their mojo going this week as Aaron Rodgers comes into town. Because if any defense could give up a bunch of points to the New York Jets, it's the Arizona Cardinals. So I do want to talk about Marvin Harrison Jr. a little bit because it's kind of a weird, bumpy rookie season he's had. I know a lot of people say he's a bust. Malik Neighbors is better. We should have drafted Malik Neighbors. We should have drafted Romo Dunze, which I've laughed at, by the way. While, yes, Romo Dunze did have a better game against Marvin Harrison Jr., um, Marvin Harrison Jr. has looked inconsistent in these first 9 games. He's shown a lot of flashes. I mean, did you guys see the Miami game? Did you all see the Rams game? The Washington game, even though we got blown out. He has shown flashes. I'm not calling him a bust yet. It's only 9 games in his rookie season. Marvin Harrison Jr. had a lot of hype coming into the NFL. More than Malik Neighbors, more than Brian Thomas Jr., more than Romo Dunze, more than Lad McConkey, who's actually looking pretty good for the Chargers. He had a lot of hype coming into the NFL. So of course, there's going to be criticism. There's going to be people that say we should have drafted Neighbors, which I heavily disagree with. I personally think the only reason Neighbors is looking good right now is because the Giants have no other weapons on their team. While you look at Marvin Harrison Jr., look at who he has to split catches with. Trey McBride, Michael Wilson, occasionally Greg Dortch, James Conner, he has to split yards with him. Trey Benson, whenever we see him, which Trey Benson's actually looked pretty good for the few times that we've seen him on the field. So while I'm not ready to call him a bust yet, it's only 9 games and he's a rookie, right? He's a rookie. If he were doing this like in year 3 or year 4, year 5, I'd be like, okay, dude, you got to really, really get it together because, with all the contracts that these receivers have been getting lately, if Marvin Harrison Jr. does turn out to be a really big stud, that's what the cap space comes in for. The Cardinals have over $100 million in cap space, and it's only going to get bigger. It's only going to get bigger. So there's a lot of talent that Marvin Harrison Jr. is capable of, but it comes down to his route running from what I've seen, right? That fumble that he had against the Chicago Bears, number one, he didn't even notice that the defender was behind him. And as a receiver, you have to protect the ball as soon as you catch it. Catch, tuck, run. Catch, tuck, run. That's what you have to do as an NFL receiver. And number two, when Marvin Harrison Jr. was going for the catch, he didn't even need to jump for the ball. That's something I've seen a lot out of Marvin Harrison this year is when he catches the ball, he normally jumps when he doesn't need to. He doesn't need to jump for the football. Now, Kyler Murray's throws, we all know what Kyler Murray's capable of doing as a quarterback, right? He's been known as one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the National Football League. Or at least if you're a football fan with a brain, you would know that Kyler Murray is very good on his accuracy. So it's not like Kyler's making bad throws that cause Marvin Harrison Jr. to jump for the ball, dive for the ball, and he ends up dropping this and that. No, Kyler's throws are actually on point. But that's what Marvin Harrison Jr. fails at doing. He jumps for the ball when he doesn't need to, and it leads to terrible route running. And in this case against Chicago, it led to a fumble. And he was also getting locked up by certain secondary members of the Chicago Bears, which I mean, he's facing against guys that have more experience than him, so I get that. But you have to create separation when you're the number one guy. You draft a guy 4th overall, you have to target him as much as you can. And when he's not open, you're not going to be able to target him at all. And if you do target him, it either leads to an incomplete pass, an INT, or a fumble in that case, like he did against the Bears. So, just some concerns I wanted to share about Marvin Harrison Jr. Cardinal fans, I get why you're nervous about Marvin Harrison Jr. I get why you may be worried about him because I am too. He's looked inconsistent. He's looked very inconsistent. But the point is he's a rookie. Give him time. If you look at, and I don't like comparing rookies to one of the best players of all time, but if you look at Marvin Harrison Jr.'s first 9 games in the NFL, compare those stats to Larry Fitzgerald in his first 9 games as a rookie. They are very similar if you look at them. Now, granted, Larry Fitzgerald had Josh McCown as his quarterback in his rookie season, and Marvin Harrison Jr. has a big upgrade in Kyler Murray as his quarterback. But you get the point. Rookies are rookies. Terrell Owens had a bad rookie season. And look at what he turned out to be. Larry Fitzgerald had a rookie season. Of course, I was like, I wasn't really around to watch football that much yet, or at least I wasn't old enough to remember Larry's rookie days. But his rookie season, a lot of people did not remember because he looked bumpy. And look at what he turned out to be. One of the greatest receivers of all time and never won a Super Bowl. Oh well. But you get my point. So just some concerns I wanted to share about Marvin Harrison Jr. Don't give up, Cardinal fans. Don't give up yet. Don't give up yet. I know you guys want to backlash him, which is fair. We drafted him 4th overall. He should be looking a lot better. But at the same time, rookies are going to be rookies. It is what it is. Not all rookies are going to bloom right away. You got to give them time. So with that being said, Cardinal fans, calm down. I know we want to win. Trust me, I want to win too. I'm impatient as hell when it comes to winning. I'm an Arizona sports fan. I've never seen any of my teams win a title yet. Trust me, I get it. I am impatient. I want to see this team win too. I want to see our players strive to be the best that they can be. But if you're an Arizona sports fan, I feel like you got to be patient. I feel like that's your only choice. You got to be patient. If you've waited this long, you might as well wait a little bit longer. You might as well, right? It is what it is. So let's get down to business for week 10. So as I pull up the injury report here for the Jets and Cardinals, so the New York Jets, hold up. So the Jets come into Arizona with a record of 3-6. They're not really looking as good as some people may have thought, including myself. I thought the Jets were going to be a little bit better this season, but they've gone through some issues. They fired Robert Saleh when I don't really think it was his fault, to be honest, but it is what it is. Okay, this does not seem to be the injury report. Give me a second. I'm trying to find it. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right. So you guys know the drill. I start off with the injury report first for the visiting New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers with the knee injury, full participant. He'll be good to go. Aaron Rodgers will play. Tony Adams with a hamstring injury, safety, full participant. He might be good to go. Linebacker Chaz Surratt with a heel injury, limited, unknown. Safety Ashton Davis with a concussion was a full participant, and he may be good to go. Elijah Vera Tucker, guard, ankle injury, did not participate in practice, and this is as of yesterday, by the way. Defensive lineman Solomon Thomas with a knee injury did not practice, unknown. Tyron Smith, tackle, he rested but was limited, so we'll see about that. Lineman John Simpson, groin injury, limited in practice. Linebacker CJ Mosley with a neck injury did not participate, unknown. Morgan Moses, offensive line, unknown with a knee injury. Jake Hansen, offensive lineman with a hamstring injury. Michael Carter, defensive back with a back injury, limited in practice. So there's a lot of injuries for the Jets, especially on that offensive line. That is something to look at right there. And for the Arizona Cardinals at home, defensive tackle with that thigh injury, Naquan Jones, unknown, but he was a full participant. James Conner, who got a little bit injured last week against the Bears, he was limited in practice, but it looks like he'll be good to go. He should be good to go, but if not, I fully trust Trey Benson. LJ Collier, defensive line with a foot injury, limited in practice. He should be good to go. Darius Robinson, of course, we talk about that calf injury. We might not see him again this week. We might not see him until after the bye week when we take on the Seattle Seahawks. Right tackle Kelvin Beachum, he was resting, but he was still limited in practice recently. We'll see if he's good to go. Jalen Thompson with that ankle injury, limited in practice. His status is unknown. Sean Murphy-Bunting with that neck injury was a full participant in practice. He could be a good to go this week, which honestly, in some ways, that might be a bad thing, to be honest. No offense. Defensive lineman Roy Lopez with that ankle injury, he was a full participant. We'll see if he's good to go. And lastly, Jonah Williams, right tackle with the knee injury, was limited in practice, and his status is unknown. So, a lot of injuries for both teams. We may be getting some guys back. Sean Murphy-Bunting, Jonah Williams, we don't know about yet. We'll see. Jonathan Gannon did come out and say that it's looking like Darius Robinson will be out again. So, yes, we do have a bye week after this game. And we may not see Darius Robinson until then. But it sucks. We have to wait over 10 weeks just to see this guy play. It's a calf injury, too. It didn't seem that bad at first. Like, when it first happened, they were talking about how Darius Robinson's only going to be out for the first 4 games. Nope. He's out for the first 10 games. So our medical team needs to get their shit together and be more accurate when it comes to stuff like that. So I do want to search up the New York Jets team rankings. So as I do that. Okay. But about the injuries. So there's a lot of injuries regarding the Jets offensive line. And this Cardinals team is coming off of 6 sacks against Caleb Williams last week. So if it's true and there aren't really a whole lot of if there are a lot of injuries regarding the Jets, especially on that offensive line, the Cardinals need to take advantage of that, especially with Aaron Rodgers. The guy's a statue. He's 40 years old. If that offensive line is banged up and Aaron Rodgers is sitting in the pocket for a while, take advantage of that. Get to Aaron Rodgers. If you get to him, I guarantee you're going to bring him down. We're not facing Jaden Daniels anymore. We ain't facing Caleb Williams anymore. We're not facing Herbert anymore. This is a statue at 40 years old. And Aaron Rodgers, I respect you, man. You were you're my last childhood quarterback, so respect. But if you can get to Aaron Rodgers in this game, bring him down whenever you get to him, especially with the injuries that the Jets are facing on the offensive line. I like the way our defense is looking for this game. Now, see the Jets. All right. So the Jets are coming off. Actually, they won their last game. They beat the Texans, and they held the Texans to 13 points. So what I'm looking for, and they held C.J. Stroud. And get this, C.J. Stroud had 19 incompletions. 19. He threw 11 for 30. And Aaron Rodgers actually looked pretty good in that game. 211 yards, 3 passing touchdowns. And that was also on a primetime game as well. So the Jets are coming into this game with a lot of rest. And, with extra rest. And obviously the injuries, a lot of them are unspecified. We don't know if they're going to play yet, but I already talked about their O-line injuries. Take advantage of that if you can. But what I am definitely looking for is basically the how the offense plays against the Jets defense. So I would continue if James Conner is out, which it's looking like he is going to play, but he is on the injury report, so just in case, I would try throwing the ball a lot, even if James Conner does play. I mean, we didn't see a lot of throwing. We didn't really see a lot of throwing from Kyler Murray. I mean, he had 150 passing yards, right? But they outplayed the Bears defense as far as running the ball. You got to stick with your identity, right? Stick with the identity. Stick to the run game. If that doesn't help, you got Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr., Greg Dortch, Michael Wilson. If it comes down to that, relying on Kyler Murray to throw the ball, I'm confident in it. Kyler Murray's an accurate quarterback. It all just depends on how our offense plays. I think that, and I mean, it also depends on how the Jets offense continues into this game, right? They dropped 21 points on the Texans. It was good enough to win the game. Aaron Rodgers had 3 passing touchdowns. He had a good game. But what I'm definitely going to be looking for on our defense is how the pass rush can get to Aaron Rodgers. And on offense, stick to the run game. Obviously, throw the ball, right? Keep the throwing game going. But if I had to make a score prediction for the Cardinals, surprise, surprise, guys, for once in my life, I think the Arizona Cardinals are going to win a football game. I'm picking the Arizona Cardinals. I think it's going to be a little bit of a low scoring game. I think it's going to be another close game for the Cardinals. I think that the Cardinals are going to win 27-24. I think it's going to be a close game. I think our offense is going to keep it going. And I do think that our defense is going to let down just a little bit. Give the Jets an opportunity to make it a close game, but at the end of the day, I got the Cardinals winning. So let me know your guys' thoughts. Uh, and if and who do you think is going to win that game? But I've been talking about the Cardinals for over a half hour. So let's go into a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about the Phoenix Suns starting their season off amazing, 7-1, tied for first place in the Western Conference. Everybody, it's amazing here for Phoenix basketball right now. We're going to talk about that a lot when we come back. You're watching the AZ Sports Zone on iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Sports fans, do you like teams that are tough, cities that are tougher, and fan bases that are passionate about their teams? How about teams that are historic and stadiums that are iconic? Then you belong in Chicago, and you need to check out Chi-Town Weekly. Join me, Adam Kernick, every week as we keep up with all things Chicago sports. Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, White Sox. We'll cover them all, plus more. The Windy City is always buzzing, and we'll keep you up on all the big games and major stories. So tune in to Chi-Town Weekly every week right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's up, Pittsburgh? This is Ralph Calise, the host of the Injury Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Are you that passionate, diehard Steelers, Penguins, Pirates, or just a Pittsburgh sports fan? Then please join me on the Injury Report every Tuesday on IE Sports Radio, the direct feed for all that is sports. And I will update you on all that's black and gold, and have you telling your Pittsburgh fans and friends what's up with Pittsburgh sports. Tune in Tuesday with me, Ralph Calise, the Injury Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Let's go!
Welcome back to the AZ Sports Zone on the IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Once again, I'm your host, Alden K. Big shout out to Adam and Ralph as I just played their videos. Make sure to check out not just those two and their shows, but everybody's shows on the IE Sports Radio. We have a bunch of great people, guys, who will give you good content once a week. Ralph's is on Tuesday. I want to say Adam's, I think, is on Wednesday. Correct me if I'm wrong, but make sure to check out those guys. But with that being said, let's get back to the Valley, and we're going to get to the heart of the Valley, which is the Phoenix Suns, and how they have had an amazing start to this season, a 7-1 start. Did anybody see this coming? Because I sure as hell didn't. I did not think the Phoenix Suns were going to start this good to start their season, but new head coach Mike Budenholzer has really turned this team around. It's only 8 games, I get it, but they have really turned it around this season. I can't, or not just him, but the other coaching staff members as well. I cannot talk about it enough. how excited I am for this Phoenix Suns season to turn out, hopefully, as we try to really push for that first championship, man. We need it. We need it. Arizona sports needs it. We're one of the most historic basketball teams, and we don't have a championship. So now would be a great time, especially at the tail end of KD's career. And Devin Booker, currently in his prime, Bradley Beal. Uh, Under that contract, it would be nice if something paid off, right? It would be nice. So this Phoenix Suns team are tied for first place in the West with the Golden State Warriors and the Oklahoma City Thunder. And they're coming off a win the other day against the Miami Heat. Once again, Kevin Durant was clutch. KD, Slim Reaper. I want to talk about KD as well. KD should be in the MVP talk, guys. He's averaging 28 points a game at 36 years old at year 17. How is this man not in the MVP talks yet? I get it. You got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, you got Nikola Jokic, you got Luka Doncic, you got Giannis, even though the Bucks are trash. You got all these other guys that are younger, more well-known, and look better than Kevin Durant. But just the fact that Kevin Durant is winning us games, like at least 5 of our games have come down to the wire. 2 of them against the Clippers, 1 against the Lakers, 1 against Miami, 1 against... I forgot. There have been so many close games this season that the Suns have had that they would not have won without Kevin Durant. So this season, it's been, I don't want to say luck in some of these close games. Just the fact that we've been able to execute the clutch this season, it would be nice to really not be in clutch situations that much, because while we've looked good in the clutch, for all we know, that luck and that clutch ability could run out. Under Frank Vogel last season, if we still had Frank Vogel as our head coach, I guarantee you, in all of these clutch situations, the Phoenix Suns might be below 500 right now. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. I could tell that this Phoenix Suns team last season, they did not like Frank Vogel at all. There's no way. You can't possibly sit here and tell me that this Suns team was okay with the way Frank Vogel was running the team last year. Nobody was. Nobody could stand that guy. But Mike Budenholzer, former NBA champion, comes into Phoenix, Arizona native. He utilizes the players well, except for Bobo, because he has yet to touch the field, the court yet this season. Why is Bobo not on the court? Come on now. Nurkic, except for last game, I'll give Nurkic this. He had a good game the other day. Nurkic has sucked this season. I think like last game was his first good game of the season. He was actually perfect from shooting the three-pointer, which blows my mind. 20 points, 18 rebounds. Aside from that game, Nurkic has not done a damn thing to help this team out besides turn the ball over and get called for illegal screens. So other than that, why is Bobo not on the court? That's something I'd really like to see. That's something every Phoenix Suns fan would like to see. But man, like I said, KD should be in the MVP conversation. I don't care what anyone says, all right? And maybe I'm being biased, but hey, we're 7-1. Let me be biased. I have every right to be. We should be 8-0 right now, to be honest with you, too. That Lakers game was still BS. We didn't even lose to the Lakers. We lost to the officials, which we always lose to the officials whenever we lose to the Lakers, but it is what it is. So let's talk about the injuries a little bit. So, sorry, guys. I'm like losing my voice right now. But the injuries have definitely played a part as well. Not really, but in some ways. We have been winning games, this and that, but I feel like with Bradley Beal being injured a little bit, he started the season off very good, right? He started off very good. But then it just, ever since that elbow injury occurred for Bradley Beal, last game was terrible. He had a terrible game against Miami. The game before that, he wasn't really doing much. So, Philadelphia, that's the other team that we beat. Philadelphia. Paul George is a bum. But anyway. Yeah, so it's not like Bradley Beal is like he sucks this season, because honestly, Bradley Beal hasn't been as bad as he was last year. I mean, last year he didn't even play that much. He missed like what, at least 40 games. So simply by the fact that he's played in, I think he's only missed one game so far. So the fact that he's at least playing, he's having a better year than last year alone. And then we talk about Ryan Dunn, our rookie. Ryan Dunn's listed as doubtful with an ankle injury tonight against the Dallas Mavericks. We take on the Mavericks at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. So I will not be able to watch the game, unfortunately. I will be at work. But every chance I get, every break I get from work, I will be retweeting the game. So make sure to check it out if you're not able to watch it. I will be keeping track of it on my phone as well, every chance I get. But and it sucks. I suck missing. I really hate missing games regarding my teams. I really hate missing them. I am a diehard, so every game I miss, it sucks. But playing the Mavericks tonight, especially too, it really sucks. I would love to see that game. Every time we play the Mavericks, something funny happens. Whether it's a fight, whether it's just trash talk. Every time we play the Mavs, it's hilarious. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to watch it, but it is what it is. So, but yeah. So Bradley Beal is questionable against the Mavericks tonight. Ryan Dunn is doubtful. So if Bradley Beal is out, expect to see a lot of Grayson Allen maybe. The three-point shooting for him has been great this season, as it was last season. If Ryan Dunn is out, then hopefully Bradley Beal plays. If both of these guys are out, we're missing both of our starting forwards. So you would probably expect Grayson Allen to be in the starting lineup maybe. If both of these guys are out, can we see Bobo? I know he's not a forward like these guys, but man, next man up. Bobo hasn't played yet. He hasn't been on the court for a second yet this season. Can we see him on the court? It just really sucks that every single game we have to see guys not get playing time just because the other guys are playing better. Is what it is. Let's get to the chat. What's up, Chad? How you doing? And Yukio from Japan, how's it going, man? Yep, we are having a great show, getting it going. Just everything in Arizona sports so far this season. So far, I'm enjoying it while I can because I'm waiting for the terrible moment to go down. Because I know the traumatic events that these Arizona sports teams have brought upon me, but it is what it is. So, Suns and Mavericks tonight. So, I already briefly talked about it. We might be without Ryan Dunn and Bradley Beal. I think Bradley Beal will play, but Ryan Dunn won't probably. He's listed as doubtful with an ankle injury. So, that obviously brings a little bit of a setback on our defense for tonight's game. As you guys remember when we played the Mavericks last time at home, Ryan Dunn was locking up Luka Doncic, and I mean locking the crap out of him. I think he was like 1 for 3 or 4 shooting when Ryan Dunn was the primary defender. So obviously with Dunn being out, it creates a little bit of a defensive setback. So it's all about the next man up, right? Whoever's on Luka, just hopefully he misses the shot, because last time we played Luka, despite Ryan Dunn locking him up, Luka still dropped 40 points on our head. So yeah, whoever's guarding Luka, do your job, please. I don't like it when Luka goes off on us. I really don't. I've seen it too many times. Kyrie Irving had a terrible game against us last time. I could see one of these games where he has a bounce back against us. Klay Thompson, from what I've been hearing, is having a vengeance season so far with the Mavericks. I guess that's what the Warriors needed to do, is just get rid of him, because the Warriors are 7-1, just like us. So maybe all it took was getting rid of Klay Thompson. But he is having a decent year in Dallas from what I've heard. So obviously the catch and shoot from Klay Thompson is something that we might see a lot this season. But hopefully the Phoenix Suns keep it going. They've won their last 6 games, looking for their 7th win in a row. And it's the best, guys, This 7-1 start is tied for the best start in franchise history. Not even the 93 team was better. Not even the 21 team was better. So let's keep it going. And let's beat the Mavericks tonight. Can't stand those fuckers. Please beat them tonight. So, guys, we're going to go into one more break. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about the Arizona Diamondbacks. Tempted to trade one of their starting pitchers, as we have 6 starting pitchers currently on our roster. So one of them's got to go. The Diamondbacks trying to re-sign Christian Walker, which hopefully they get it done. And the Diamondbacks are also active in signing another relief pitcher. So when we come back, we're going to be talking about, once again, guys, you're watching the AZ Sports Zone on the iSports Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hello, ladies and sinners. Hello, sports fans around the world. Hello, IE Sports family. This is Cale Henderson, the host of IE Vegas, the Sin City Sports Show, presented by IE Sports Radio. If you folks are interested in sports in the Vegas area, if you're wanting to have a blast for 1 hour, every Tuesday night from 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, this is a show built for the Vegas sports fans, where we feature the Las Vegas Raiders, the Las Vegas Golden Knights, the Las Vegas Aces, and the University of Las Vegas, Nevada Rebels. Hopefully, fingers crossed, MLB team coming soon. Either way, if you folks are looking to have a blast for 1 hour each and every week, tune in Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you folks are interested in Vegas sports news, go to our Twitter at SinCities_IESR, and you can speak with me, the host, Cale Henderson, at Cale_Henderson on Twitter at any time. Be happy to reply. Always want to reach out to our fans. Again, the Sin City Sports Show, presented by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's up, New York? This is Ricky K coming at you at the NY State of Sports, a new show here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Listen to me every Thursday afternoon as we bring you the latest takes on the Yankees, Mets, Jets, Giants, Knicks, Nets, Rangers, Devils, and Islanders. Plus, you get some college hoops and what's the local sports events going on in the area. It's a state that never sleeps, so why not get the opinions and sports takes that never sleep? Again, every Thursday, 2 p.m. to the NY State of Sports. We'll see you then.
Welcome back to the AZ Sports Zone on the iSports Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. If you're just now tuning in, we just talked about the Cardinals and Suns segments. If you missed it, just go back and watch it. I'm your host, Alden K, once again here on episode 17. We got one last segment to talk about, and that's the Diamondbacks. Make sure to go check out Ricky and Cale Henderson's shows. And New York, taking y'all on this Sunday in football. So good luck to y'all, but go Cardinals. So with that being said, let's get into the final segment, which is the Arizona Diamondbacks. And, you know, I didn't think I'd be hearing a lot of Diamondback news, but they've been rumored and they've been active. Well, not active. They haven't made any moves yet, but you get what I mean. So the Arizona Diamondbacks, Mike Hazen came out and said that the general manager is tempted to trade one of the starting pitchers that we have on this team. He didn't specify or make a suggestion of which pitcher smartfully, but he made it seem like one of our starting pitchers is going to leave via trade in this offseason. So we do have a lot of starting pitchers on this team, and pitching was our biggest issue last season, especially the starting pitchers. So the starting pitchers are among the following of potentially getting traded: Zach Gallen, Brandon Pfaadt, Ryan Nelson, Eduardo Rodriguez. Those four, I'd say, are the only ones that are going to potentially get traded. We just picked up the option on Merrill Kelly, so I highly doubt we'll trade him. We just Jordan Montgomery opted into his player option, so I don't even think we could trade him at the moment. So these people are on thin ice: Gallen, Eduardo Rodriguez, Ryan Nelson, and Brandon Pfaadt. My opinion, I think the pitcher that is going to not make the cut is Ryan Nelson. It sucks because he was probably our best pitcher last year. I'm not even joking. And it's sad to say that, but he was probably our best pitcher. But then again, Zach Gallen, I don't think he'll get traded. I think we'll re-sign him. Brandon Pfaadt, a guy who has also been pretty good for the most part. His ERA didn't really look that good on paper, but he did show up in a lot of games last year. He showed up in the finale of last season. We just didn't make the playoffs. We didn't have enough to do it. So it is what it is. But Eduardo Rodriguez, we just signed him to a 4-year deal for $80 million. I highly doubt he gets traded just now. Plus, he was injured a lot last year. So even though he had a shitty year with us, he barely played. He was injured for like the first 4 months. So as I'm trying to get my voice back because I'm starting to lose it right now. I don't know if I'm getting sick. Hopefully I'm not. But anyway, I do think Ryan Nelson's the one that's going to get traded. And it sucks. I do think he has potential. I just don't think it's going to be with the Diamondbacks. I really don't. I mean, Torey Lovello doesn't seem like he really likes the guy that much. He takes him out early. As soon as he does something bad, the pitching coach goes out there and talks to him. It's like, dude, Ryan Nelson's going to get traded. And if I'm wrong, I'll own up to it. But that is my prediction. He is going to get traded. I wouldn't be shocked if Mike Hazen built up like a little package for Ryan Nelson and Adrian Del Castillo because we already have Gabriel Moreno. He's our franchise catcher. And while ADC did look good last season, it honestly wouldn't be a bad idea to put him in a trade package, maybe get some prospects back in return that could be good, or maybe a good reliever that we could use. So something to think about. All right. So, excuse me. But the Diamondbacks are trying to re-sign Christian Walker. They have been the teams that have been interested in trying to re-sign Christian Walker. The other teams that are interested in signing Christian Walker, let me find the page. Let me find the post real quick. Boom. So the top 3 teams that are trying to sign Christian Walker are the Arizona Diamondbacks, the New York Yankees, which is huge, and the Washington Nationals. That's kind of a funny one, but anyway. Hold up. All right. So the Nationals and Yankees are the only 2 teams that are trying, or at least that we know of, that are trying to pursue Christian Walker right now, aside from the Diamondbacks. That is very big. I say that because if you guys saw the World Series, probably the playoffs in general, to be honest, not just the World Series, the Yankees are done with Anthony Rizzo. They already declined his player option. They need a first baseman. And the Yankees have way much money than the Arizona Diamondbacks have. So if it's all about the money for Christian Walker, that is a bad sign. Because if the Yankees are desperate, obviously the Yankees have issues of their own, right? They got to re-sign Juan Soto. They just brought back Garrett Cole. So they have issues of their own right now. But at the end of the day, if they have the money to do it, they have the money to get anybody. So money is not an issue for any New York team, probably, to be honest. So, and that is something that is a concern for Arizona. We have a cheapskate owner that will not spend money whatsoever because, and see, I don't get why, dude. Ken Kendrick, you're in your 80s, dude. You don't have that much time left. Don't you want to see this team win? Would it kill you to spend millions of dollars for one season? I'm sorry, I don't mean to speak ill on the guy, but bro, would it kill you to spend money to see this team win one last time before your time is up? Whatever Christian Walker asks for, give him that money. There's not a single first baseman that we could possibly bring that is better than a 3 consecutive Gold Glove winner and is a power at bat for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Now, I get it. His bat is inconsistent. It's a big concern too because towards the end of last season, he did not show up at the plate at all whatsoever. So I get it. He's not clutch. I get that. But a big reason, and probably the biggest reason on why the Diamondbacks were the #1 defense last season, was because of a 3-time Gold Glove first baseman in Christian Walker. If the Yankees are competing against you and if money is Christian Walker's #1 priority, that is a bad sign. And the Yankees, they don't care. They'll give him whatever the hell he wants. They don't care. It's the Yankees. They don't care. They just brought back Aaron Boone, which makes me laugh, but they don't care. As long as they have the talent, they have the money, they don't care. They'll pay for a guy. So I'll let you guys think about that. But lastly, before we wrap this episode up, the Diamondbacks are active in signing a reliever. So I'm going to briefly talk about this for like no more than a minute. Signing a reliever would be huge. Reliever, another big issue on this team. Paul Sewald had a terrible, terrible comeback season. Ryan Thompson had a bad second half season. Kevin Ginkel looked pretty bad in the first half, but bounced back in the second half. Justin Martinez, that guy better be our closer next season. Dylan Floro sucked. You cut him. Good for you. So yeah, the reliever is also the pitching in general. Starting to relieving, the pitching has got to be something that the Diamondbacks focus on. Obviously, signing a big at bat would be nice too, especially if Walker does leave. But this team should be really focused on relieving and starting pitching. So I'll leave it at that. Anyway, guys. All right. So we just covered the Cardinals starting 5-4, taking on the Jets next week. Next episode, we'll definitely be talking about that. The Suns starting 7-1. We're definitely going to be talking about that a lot next episode as well. And of course, the Diamondbacks, if they do make any moves, which hopefully they do. And of course, next week, we're going to be talking about college football as Arizona State is taking on UCF tomorrow. So I will be talking about that game a little bit next episode. But once again, guys, I appreciate you guys very, very much for swinging by on the AZ Sports Zone whenever you guys can on the IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Once again, guys, I'm your host, Alden K. If you guys miss any of my episodes, just a quick reminder, I do go live every Friday at 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So make sure if you have time to tune by, just say what's up, give your thoughts, maybe on some of my teams, and of course, just support. Make sure to subscribe up to the IE Sports Radio YouTube channel and follow us on all of our socials as well. And I will be back at it next week at 1 o'clock to talk about the Cardinals and Jets postgame, and of course, a little bit about the bye week and the Phoenix Suns. Hopefully, they continue to win. Hopefully, by next week, they still only have 1 loss on their record, and let's hope it stays that way. And of course, with the Diamondbacks, if they make any moves, you know me, next Friday, I'll be the first to talk about it. Once again, guys, I appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your week. See you guys next Friday at 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time reminder. And I will see you guys next week. We are out of here. Have a great week. And I will see you guys next week. Peace out.